The following program is brought to you by your friends at Podcast One. Don't forget to download our new Podcast One app.
We're not going to talk about the NFC East tonight, so save all those takes for tomorrow.
I'll go back home and start watching.
All right, Greg. So who do you have at your number one and your QB index right now? Psych! Don't care!
Welcome
Gotcha.
to the broadcast.
Gotcha,
With your
good.
hosts, Ricky Hollywood
When I point to you, just
and
say your name.
Emma VP,
I'm not going to speak this whole time.
starring those same two broads, featuring.
Gregg Rosenthal.
I'm still talking.
Yeah.
Start the show.
Wow. Well, you heard it. Welcome back to another episode of the Broadcast Podcast. Ricky Hollywood here, Emma VP there. And if you missed it, make sure to go back and check last week's episode with my friend Cammie Scott. She's a YouTuber. She was great. We had a bunch of fun.
Good.
She called me intense, which I don't necessarily agree with. But there's no way to defend that without sounding intense.
She was right. She also gave me some advice on like tagging Invisalign in all my posts so I get money for it, so I'm just going to keep doing that.
Have you done it at all?
A couple times.
Nice.
No luck yet, but...
Like, how loosely are you using the term friend? Because she did comment how you kind of pressured her into tweeting the podcast.
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Pretty loosely, right?
Pretty loose friends.
Okay.
Yeah. We're like she
Couple of times she was-
What if she got a flat tire on the side of the road? She wouldn't call me first, but she might not necessarily not call me eventually if no one else picked up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on that list that she would call eventually.
Well, you just look like someone that would know how to change a tire, which most people I know.
Oh,
So
wow,
true.
We've got fucking jokes today, this little asshole. Well, we've got a great show lined up for our next guest. He's a writer, host, reporter for the NFL Network. Yo, Christina, let's give it up for our pal, NFL Network's Gregg Rosenthal.
Am I supposed to do something?
Pamela, we asked you to do something. What? It's Gregg Rosenthal. Oh my god.
I was supposed to be clapping.
Oh my god.
What? No, listen, Christina, why do you even have that sound in the first place?
I'm doing homework back here. I'm busy.
Homework.
What do you mean you're doing homework? We're in the middle of a fucking podcast.
This is an internship for me. I've got like a big paper due.
What's the paper on?
What I've learned at my internship.
How apropos.
Oh my
So
god.
this ought to be good, Christina.
All right, well, listen, we give you a lot of shit around here because you're terrible at your job and you deserve it, but if you don't up the rest of the show, maybe we'll have time to help you and give you feedback at the end if I decide that it's worth it.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Cool. Well, sorry about that, Greg.
No,
Sorry,
I mean,
she is incompetent, and I mean that in every sense of the word.
No, it's kind of nice to see Erica not in that position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
She screws up quite a bit, huh?
Well, no, I would just say she's usually like not that interested in the podcast that
Yeah,
she's producing.
that's a
so
good
there's a lot
quality.
of similarities.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we have an ad read for today, and we usually have our guests read it, so we'd love for you to.
All right, today's episode of the Broadcast Podcast is brought to you by Haircuts. Haircuts. Are you a slovenly mess looking to show your ex-wife what she's missing when you see her and her hot new man at your son's t-ball game? Mm-hmm. Perhaps you've been dumped on your ass and you feel a physical transformation will somehow change the fact that Colin doesn't love you anymore. Yepers, that's me, you shout with an obnoxious smirk on your face. Well, forget the birth of your first kid in that memorable 3 minutes by the lake with Jake McDougal because, Angela, today is the greatest day of your life, all thanks to Haircuts. Whether you're in the market for a bob, a mohawk, or a douchebag fade, our haircuts are specifically designed to take your current hairs and shorten them. Imagine this.
Perfect.
You're up for a big promotion at Yankee Candle, but your shit-ass long surfer hair keeps covering and irritating your eyeballs to the point of tears in the middle of your performance review. How awful. Fortunately, for listeners of the broadcast, you can prevent this situation by keeping your do neat and tidy with 0% off your first haircut using your own credit card. Haircuts. Don't worry, it'll grow back.
All right.
Wow.
Love haircuts.
Love haircuts.
A lot of people need haircuts, so that's
Yeah, they use them.
good for us.
All right, well, let's get into the star. Gregg Rosenthal. Who the hell are you?
I'm a, what did you call me before? A reporter? But I would not
I
say
think
that.
So, maybe. I don't remember.
I would say I'm a podcast host. I'm a writer. I've written about football for 15 seasons.
Jesus.
I'm a dad. That's why
First and foremost, I'm a dad.
we're starting. I'm a husband. We've been married to my wife Emeka for 12 years. Grew up in
12
Massachusetts.
years.
It's a long time.
Or maybe 11.
Who would have thought?
I think I just added one.
Wow.
Well, I think I've seen you walking around the halls of the NFL Network before. I'm not sure. So what exactly do you do there?
I'm on podcasts. It's kind of a racket that we've turned our job into. It used to be something we just kind of snuck around doing when I was supposed to be like managing news and whatnot. But now write a couple articles a week, do some podcasts.
Does anyone
Do
see
some
the articles?
television spots? I don't think so. I
Yeah.
feel like writing on the internet, that's what I've witnessed in my career, is kind of dead.
Yeah, I think
It's
so
like,
too.
It was like going well for a while, and now no one seems that interested.
Speaking
in
of dead careers, you used to work at NBC Sports, Roto World, and ProFootballTalk.com. Tell me, when was the last time you broke someone's heart?
it. Ooh. I think maybe my own,
Yeah.
like you. I think I started a breakup. It was similar age to where you are now after
Yeah.
college.
Greg's looking right into my
and
eyes.
then
Sold.
and then like horribly regretted it almost like immediately after
Oh,
for
good.
like a solid, I would say for a solid year. So you've
Okay.
got a little while to go.
Yeah. Yep. Can relate. Why'd you end it?
Because I was out here and she was not, and
was just like
we did that for like a year, and that
Wild harlots all over the place.
and
that
that
you're like,
not so much that as like it just you had to kind of put you had to make a decision, either like you're gonna be together or not. You're too young to like be that far apart.
Erica was in that situation.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I was too, but I made it work, so
Yeah,
I kind of win. Right,
Right.
buddy?
No, I could go on about this situation forever.
right. Do you like talk about it openly on this podcast? Because
I do, for
like
her.
opening the vein would really
Yeah.
people can relate.
So, are you embarrassed that you're not as famous as your best friend, Anthony Jeselnik? And do you feel like he's doing JRVP just because he feels bad about it?
No, I'm not embarrassed. I mean, I'm happy that you would even ask like that question, that we could even be in the same conversation.
Yeah, me too.
Nice.
It's weird that you would be in the same conversation, kind of why I bring it up.
I mean, I consider that entire podcast kind of almost like a donation to my kid's college fund. It's just like a more polite way for him to do that.
Yeah, I agree, for sure. For sure. That's exactly
great.
what it is. Like last week on the broadcast, our guest Cammie described her first interaction with me as intense. But what was your first impression of me?
It was definitely intense.
Intense?
As your producer at the NFL, just for context.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure things happened before that, but the thing that sticks in my mind was Dan, our fellow co-host, kind of losing his mind on you after one Thursday night football game where you just like put your own Tom Brady sound drop thing into the show, and then he kind of went after you. And that was kind of like the moment I knew Tamposi was Tamposi.
Yeah.
It's just like you didn't give a
Yeah.
what we thought you were going to do whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's for the better, don't you think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
It's the reason the show worked before, too, so. Right, buddy?
That's right. You are a co-host on 2 different podcasts. Has anyone ever told you your voice is a little nasally for an audio-only medium?
absolutely. Well, I tell myself that
Yeah.
anytime I make the mistake of listening to any of my podcasts for more than like 30 seconds, which is not something I've done in a while.
Okay. And you're
Yeah.
just like, you're too nasally, Greg, to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, like, why would anyone want to listen to you? Why would anyone want to listen to this in general? I've often thought, like, it's really ironic I'm in, like, an audio medium when I'm this good-looking, but
Exactly.
sound like that.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at you, you're like, okay, he's, like, built for TV. You know, if he's sitting down and you can't tell how tall he is, like he's
Yeah.
on, like, a bench, you know what I mean? Then it's fine. But audio, it's like, yikes.
I did once stand on, like, an Apple box to interview Jermichael Finley, and he was still taller than me.
Yeah, was the Apple box, like, upwards, like, vertical?
It was like a small ladder.
Contrary to public perception, you actually have decent taste in music and consider yourself fairly well-versed in the medium. Is that correct?
I don't consider myself
No?
well versed in the medium, but I'll take the compliment.
Okay.
You listen to a lot.
I like music.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm actually the music critic on the Broadcast podcast, so I figured I'd go ahead and review some of the newest smash hits on the boards, and then maybe you can weigh in on like my own thoughts on the music.
Please.
Is that cool? All right. So the first song, it just came out recently. It's called "Thank You Next," and it's
Oh,
by
are we
this
going
woman.
down into Emma's Music Lab?
Oh, let's go down.
Let's go down.
Let's go down to the lab.
You like that?
Emma's Music Lab, that is.
Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah.
right, Christina.
Yeah, you can fade it out there, buddy.
We get it. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
No.
Sorry
Okay,
about
so this
She'll be
first
gone
jam.
the next time I come on.
Yeah. It's called Thank You Next, and it's by a woman named Ariana Grande. So first of all, I just want to say I like the music video a lot for this, and it's like more so than the actual instruments and the words. Ariana Grande copies good movies like Mean Girls and 13 Going on 30 in it, and even though it's the furthest thing from an original thought, I really like those movies, so I enjoyed the reminder. Back to the song. I don't really know what genre it falls into, so I just call it a teen robot dance jam. I swayed a little bit when listening to it in my CRV, but that's about it for body movements.
that. I'd hope so.
Arabano seems to be bragging about how many boyfriends she's had, which upsets me because I've only had one boyfriend. It's catchy at points when she rhymes next with X. I get what she's going for. But then she says it like 10 too many times, and I change the station to NPR. Perhaps Ariella should sing about This American Life or Fresh Air. I don't think many artists are doing that. Overall, thank you, but no thank you. See, Ariana, I can be clever too. Just lay my paper down. What do you
Okay.
think? How do you feel about that song? How do you think,
That
I
you could
reviewed it.
well, you could look at it a different way, which is that like she's been a failure in all of her relationships, and you're winning yours.
yeah,
So it's like a victory
one
lap.
and done,
Yeah.
as they say.
Yeah, pretty sad life.
I mean, I'm kind of with you. Like
Yeah.
like a little Ira Glass shout out would be nice.
I think so too. Terry Gross.
Yeah,
Although that's my
Terry's my
life.
jam. I try to model myself after Terry.
Yeah, I don't even know what
I
you guys
wish.
are talking about because it's so fucking nerdy. I don't even know.
You're lost.
You're just listing people's names.
I think like buried, within all of that insanity was a trenchant analysis that like the idea in the video of that song are ultimately better than the song itself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks so much. That was really true.
Wow.
Okay, so this next song is called Going Bad, and this is Meek Mill featuring Drake. Okay?
All right.
So I know you probably wouldn't guess it by looking at me, but I really vibe towards hip-hop tunes the most, followed by smooth jazz at this piano bar I go to with my Nana and Papa in Scottsdale. So I saw on Tumblr that Meek Mill dropped a new album like it was hot, so I immediately went to Best Buy to hear a sample. I flicked on this hot number and immediately started raising the roof. How's that for a provocative response? I heard Mill was in jail for a bit, so he probably had a lot of time to think of these clever rhymes, and I commend him on that. I haven't been to jail, but even if I had, I don't think I could write such 100 fire under those circumstances. Going Bad has a noticeable beat, but to be honest, I didn't get any of the references. I'm also confused because at least 75% of this song is sung by Drake, but it's still credited to Meek Mill? I don't know. I guess I'll let that slide. All in all, I play it again so long as it's after 6 p.m. or maybe if I'm feeling down one day this winter.
I thought Meek Mill and Drake were like beefing. They're,
Right.
like, just
I mean, that's sort of, how a lot of the public got to know Meek Mill.
Yeah.
So I thought that would maybe be in, your review.
Oh, I'm
Just
not
like
aware
the context.
of the feud.
I really had a hard time getting past, like, you going to listen it at Best Buy.
Yeah.
They still have the listening stations.
I mean, they have them there. That's where I go to hear all my beats.
So every time you hear a new song, you go check it out at the Best Buy.
I drive my CRV straight to the Best Buy, and I put on those headphones that other people would put on, and I pick the jam.
So, Greg, why are you so obsessed with New Orleans?
It's great. It's a great place. It's where I went to college.
Nice.
What do you mean?
Why there?
Obsessed. Because it was warm. It was a city. And they gave me money.
They gave you money for what?
Like, scholarship, academics.
Oh, just academics,
Whatnot.
not sports, right?
No, they were too good at tennis. I was going to try to play tennis at GW.
Okay.
But they weren't giving me
I'm
anything.
banned from the campus of GW.
For what?
We were at this underage party, and we were visiting friends, and a security guard busted the party, and we tried to run under him. We tried to run out the door because we didn't go there. We're like, oh, he's never gonna catch us. Whatever. He caught us, and we didn't get arrested. But he said that if you're ever caught on the GW campus again, they took our photos and everything.
So you think it's up in every dorm?
No, I mean, I don't think they would know, but if I ever got in trouble on GW's campus, they're like, you could be arrested, you could never come back to this university again.
I think the bigger question is, why aren't you obsessed with New Orleans? Have
I've
you
never
been
been.
there? Well, right. So
I've never
you're
been.
in
Me neither.
Like most cases, you're speaking from total ignorance.
But can't you go through the drive-thru, and I'm not even going to acknowledge that, and you can go through a drive-thru and get a strawberry daiquiri?
Yeah, well, that's true. That's
But,
true in New Orleans, but that's true in most of the South. The South is
Really?
great in general. I would recommend it, but New Orleans especially.
You'd recommend the South?
Yeah, I think the South.
I get nervous there.
I think the South's underrated.
I've been to New Orleans. I like it.
Oh my god.
And like the people, you just start talking really slow. If you're like a very like tightly wound person like Emma is, which I maybe could be at my worst.
Yeah.
It's like New Orleans will unwind you a little bit naturally.
I need to go.
Cool.
Yeah, you should definitely go, buddy.
Probably check it out. Put that on the list. So, Greg, you like Erica so much that you also chose her to produce your other podcast, which, by the way, I never got a call.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't get an interview. Do you think she's actually good at producing, or do people just like her sass?
So it's both. I think her sass is her producing.
No, that's not.
I mean, you're right. It's not like I would say her best strength would probably be the video form, directing and whatnot. So audio podcast. It was a thought. I genuinely thought about asking Emma. I don't know if have we ever talked about this?
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's almost like a jerkish thing for me to bring up, but
No, you did tell me.
You thought about it?
Yeah, that's kind of on brand for me. So yeah, but Erica and I, we had a relationship already.
Yeah,
it
okay,
was kind of like,
I don't know, but whatever.
Yeah.
like we understood each other, and whatever like advantages you could provide technically,
Sure.
with like your producing acumen and trying harder.
For
It's
sure.
like I just knew Erica would vibe and get along better. Get along
knew?
well. I knew. Yeah, I knew.
Okay, well.
I knew.
glad
Not
that-
better.
hope it's doing well.
Maybe not better, but like well. It was a low risk move. That's what when you're making. You got to make tough decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely offended.
Yeah.
I don't think about that a lot. So, Greg, I burned the roof of my mouth on hot pizza 4 different times this year. Is the problem the pizza, or am I the problem?
You're the problem. You could wait it out a little bit, let it cool down.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does men's tennis get you going?
I like men's tennis.
Yeah.
I like women's tennis.
But like if you're, it's a Friday night, like you got a bottle of wine, maybe some Marvin Gaye. It's like, are you going to turn on
Like,
Venus and Serena?
Does it like do either men's or women's tennis get me sexually aroused?
Yeah.
Not really.
Really?
I mean, some of the women's players you definitely appreciate and admire
Yeah, when they're serving.
their looks and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
But I'm more of a fan of the sport,
Okay.
I would say.
Makes sense. That's like you with golf, right? Don't you love women's golf, Emma?
Really get you going for the weekend.
It really
That's
does.
what we're saying. So, Greg, when you first moved out to LA in the 1960s, you were a page at NBC. I was rejected
It was
from
2001.
this. Yeah, same shit. I was rejected from this prestigious program, not once, but twice.
Ooh.
I'm still pissed as about it. Do you think they made a mistake?
I do. You're one of
Thank you.
the most high achieving people I know, or most likely to high achieve. Like you haven't
Not yet.
quite done it yet,
Okay.
but,
Yeah, but, like,
you're
don't
like on your way.
Don't you
yeah.
think
Thank
there's
you.
so much of being too type A? Like,
Not for the NBC Page program.
Right.
I mean, I think that's kind of what they should be looking for. Although when I think back to it, I don't know. There were a lot of ups there.
yeah.
Really?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, there were including me. Like no one gave a more half-assed,
Wow.
NBC tour than me. Like, hey, here's Jay Leno's car in the parking lot. Like he's here at 8 a.m. every day, the hardest working man in show business, and like you do
Is
this
he?
little.
The same lines.
Yeah, you would try to mix it up, and you would have like some people would really like tailor their tours so that they would get the hard laughs each time. It was whereas I was just trying to get it over with as fast as possible and get out of the job as fast as possible.
Huh.
Oh, I still hold it against them.
I would too.
Same thing.
You would have been great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
think
you
so,
would have
too.
been like the ideal NBC Page. You would have moved on and like up and through NBC quickly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe I wouldn't be writing for a podcast right now.
Yeah. Well,
Would you would that be better?
Yeah, definitely. Be better.
okay. Wow.
No offense.
Like you think that, but maybe.
No, I would still be doing this, but like maybe I'd also have a job in the entertainment industry.
But I
That's
like.
the best thing that ever happened to me, right?
I
Pete?
started getting all those jobs I started getting jobs in entertainment industry through the Page program and
Exactly.
whatnot. But I didn't like it, and then
Right.
I left. So you never know.
You moved home, right? You totally dipped.
Yeah, I didn't go home, but I went to Massachusetts. I like bummed around the country for a couple weeks, and then
Delivered pizzas along the way.
And then when I got there, didn't really have a plan, and started teaching tennis and applying for jobs and stuff. Smoking way too much weed, reading a lot of books, I would say.
Yeah.
Sick.
Nice. You have a regular column on NFL.com called the QB Index, where you rank all the quarterbacks in the league. What makes you think you have the authority to put out this kind of list?
I mean, what makes anyone think they have the authority for anything? Confidence. It's kind of like, how do you have the confidence to keep going on, throughout, like for instance, whatever situation you're in, Erica, you attack it like 100% with confidence, even when there's evidence presented to you that it's not going well. You're like, it doesn't faze you whatsoever.
Yeah, no, it phases me. I just
I admire that quality about Erica.
Yeah, I do too.
I actually, before you got here, we only waited for a couple of hours.
I told you days ago when I could do it.
I know. We were looking at some of these other logos of podcasts that our lovely hosts of Podcast One host as well on their site. On their brand, I should say. And I was kind of coming up with some new ideas. We have a really cool logo, but I was like, Emma, wouldn't it be better if the logo was like my face and then maybe like a pencil in my ear, like for Emma, like she writes.
That's perfect.
You know what I mean?
You think that's perfect for the show? Just Erica's face?
Well, I think it goes with the whole vibe,
Yeah, so it's like just like a very like good glamorous shot of me and like maybe like Emma.
Right, like that's what you guys are going for, though. You're like you're like, hey, I'm the front woman, and you're like the brains behind the front woman,
and literally behind because my image won't be on the logo, on the 2D logo at all. So, that's what we're going for.
But I take that offensively because I still have brains. I have beauty and brains.
You have it all.
Yeah,
you got it all.
I was thinking of a very specific example of a podcast studio that we were in yesterday because. We don't spend enough time in podcast studios together. I think this is 6 this week we're going to do, 5 or 6.
I'm so sick
much,
of you.
guys.
Where you were coming up with these taglines, and no matter how bad they were going, you just did it with brio.
Well, let's lift up the skirt a little bit, as we like to say. Greg here was like, if you need to write some taglines, like, why don't you have Emma help you because she's smarter?
Right.
And Emma did help me, and he still said they were shit.
Yeah, Greg shit.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I try to watch as much as I can, and I just do the best that I can. I watch as much football as humanly possible the last 15 years.
Yeah.
And you just give it a shot.
Who's number 28 on your QB index?
I don't know, Blake Bortles or something.
I just picture Blake Bortles reading this because they see tweets, they see social media posts, and then being like, "Who the hell is Gregg Rosenthal?" And then he looks up and sees a photo of you, and it's like, "This is who put me 28."
This guy, 28.
I've gotten that sometimes, definitely.
So, Greg, do you think you'll ever get divorced? Because my parents didn't think so.
I don't think so. I mean, this is kind of a recurring bit on our other podcast too, but no, I think just out of like general ambivalence and like getting divorced is hard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like
laziness.
Sometimes it would, if it ever got to that point, it'd just be easier to not. When did they get divorced?
I was like 13.
Yeah.
Like if they had done it at 6, would it have been way worse? Like just strategy wise, because my kids are 7 and 3, so
you got to think about when you're going to pull the plug.
Do it now before Walker could really remember me.
Well, no, you'll still be in his life
before he remembers you.
He's going to be like, "Yeah, I've had 2 Christmases."
Well, they would probably like unless I really pushed for it. She'd probably just take them to Japan. So that would be far.
Yeah, you wouldn't see them that much.
True.
Yeah, do it now. Do it
now.
Yeah, but they can't. You can't kidnap kids and take them to Japan.
Well, no. But am I gonna get in like a big legal battle and stuff?
I mean, if it's your kids,
usually the courts kind of they favor the moms.
Yeah, but they don't go to Japan.
Not that I've looked into it.
If all of a sudden your wife took the kids to Japan and you're literally like, it costs too much money to get a lawyer. I'm gonna leave them in Japan. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, it's like it's not too bad in the winter. It's like your February, that whole post Super Bowl time.
Exactly. So, Greg, I lettered in community service in high school, and Erica was asked to 4 different proms. What's your proudest accomplishment to date?
Wow. What does that mean, lettered? You
I
can
got a
letter?
varsity letter in community service.
That's not a real thing.
I did. I have it.
That doesn't. You have it.
You
They
accumulate
made it
so
out
many
of-
hours and you get the letter.
Yeah, but they made
Did
it.
I
out of
letter in a
felt.
sport? No.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a fake accomplishment. Like I know.
It's not a fake accomplishment.
My best accomplishment in life?
Yeah.
It's too cliche to say your kids.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's
Don't
like
do that.
everyone
Really
does,
lame.
Everyone does that.
Yeah. It's
But
not an
it does-
accomplishment either.
Yeah, but it just feels like at least you did something good. Like, what have you guys done? You
That's
know?
very
a
true.
dog.
No,
Like
that's true.
I've contributed to the world. You know, I've
Yeah.
contributed. We have a good time together, at least.
You and your kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a great time.
You do
Well,
have
what if
that.
one
I
of
was
your-
like the model Congress president,
Okay.
so that's
Cool.
that was something.
I got asked to 4. I went to 4 proms. I got asked to 5.
Oh, sorry. I did that.
Yeah, get your facts right. I was voted class clown and most outgoing, which are like 2 of the.
But these
same
aren't
things.
most accomplished, like the best accomplishments in
No.
high school. It could be your whole life. But you
Yeah.
guys are both kind of stuck in high school.
No, my biggest accomplishment, and I've talked about it before, is when I raised enough money on Kickstarter, which was all or nothing, to make a film and do it all from scratch. So that is my biggest accomplishment to date. Not going to 4 proms, even though
I don't know. That's pretty
That's
big
pretty
accomplishment.
good.
it's pretty cool. When someone brings up a non-football topic at a dinner party, do you get really nervous and like run to the bathroom?
I feel great. You know.
Yeah.
It's more usually the question's the other way around. You know, like, isn't it annoying when people bring up football topics at the
Yeah.
dinner table? But I'm good. I'm good regardless.
Oh, you love football. I don't see you having a problem with that.
No, it's fine.
But can you talk about anything else?
Yeah, I'm like worldly.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm like a
Just
man.
because your kids are, in Japan now doesn't mean you're worldly.
I'm just saying I like lots of different people.
Yeah.
I that's why I hired you.
Yeah, exactly. Diversity.
Good point.
I'm gonna crush him.
You always say that at the moment that where you're not crushing me.
Yeah.
So let's
I'm
do it.
going
Let's
to
see it.
crush you. Greg, I could sit on you and you would f***ing snap in two.
Advice you... Advice for broads, you want to be like Gregg Rosenthal.
Advice for broads that want to be like Gregg Rosenthal. Mm-hmm. Don't be like Gregg Rosenthal.
Why not?
How about don't give a f***?
Yeah,
nice,
nice.
nice.
Great advice.
Like don't care what people think.
All right, I think it's time for Bush League.
Bush League. Get it?
You get it? You.
You. All right, Greg. So sometimes we broads will mention sports on this podcast. Nothing intelligent, mostly talking about football players' asses and stuff, as you know. But I figured it'd be fun to put your sports knowledge to test since you claim to be such an expert. For our
Since
segment,
when?
Bush League.
Okay, QB index.
Yeah, we're gonna focus on athletes who have dabbled in TV and/or film in honor of your short-lived, past gigs in the entertainment industry. So it's like a little bit of sports, a little bit of pop culture. Basically, it's our trivia segment called "Broads Want to Be a Millionaire."
Nice.
Feeling all Slumdog right now.
Oh yeah, Emma's never seen that movie.
Sorry.
It's a bad job.
It's an amazing film.
Okay, we'll see it at some
Slumdog
point.
Millionaire is incredible. All right, so we're going to take turns reading the questions, and these are multiple choice, so no pressure, okay? You get one lifeline, and that's producer Christina, so good fucking luck with that.
Good luck,
All right.
Greg.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
This gigantic, well-dressed man with a lovely smile is a former wrestler and a college football player who is perhaps most well known for his starring role in a melodramatic car racing movie franchise, as well as the only critically unacclaimed HBO series Ballers. Audiences truly fell in love with this athlete when he was shirtless in a human form in a summer flop Baywatch, and in cartoon form for the spectacular Moana. What is A, Walter White, B, Judy Garland,
Okay.
C, Mario Lopez, or D, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
I'm gonna go D. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Shit, okay.
Okay, he's
wow,
got it.
Good one. You got the first one right? All right. Gets tougher and tougher, so here we go.
All right, what's the money at now?
$10,000.
$10,000. Number 2. Some call this exceptionally tall, ball-handling man the GOAT, Others, mainly himself, refer to him as the King. In 2015, he starred in comedy Trainwreck as Bill Hader's extremely unlikely, unrealistic wingman and is set to be the lead in Oscar favorite Space Jam 2. This dribbler recently moved to Los Angeles, California to concentrate on acting and also lend a hand to the LA Lakers in his free time. Is it A, George Foreman, B, LeBron James, C, Mia Hamm, or D, Ebenezer Scrooge?
I'm going to go B, LeBron James, final answer.
All right.
All right. You're at 20,000 now?
Wow, you're good under pressure.
Seriously.
Shit.
All right, here it goes. This one's even harder. An intimidating broad in the octagon, and surely in life, this MMA fighter attempts to be a goofball in a Twizzlers commercial and plows an entire box of single stuff Oreos on her cheat days. Her memorable cameo in the Entourage movie made her realize that if she could pretend to be romantically interested in a guy named Turtle, she could definitely act her ass off in the WWE. A, Willy Wonka.
Okay. All right.
B, Uma Thurman.
What time period was that?
C, Liz Lemon.
Okay.
D, Ronda Rousey.
That's a tough one.
It is tough. Because Liz Lemon was a lesbian, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go D, Ronda Rousey.
Oh, you got it. And you're up to $40,000.
You are crushing this.
Thank you.
We have not had
Thank
this
you.
before.
I'm nervous.
Excited.
No one's ever gotten this far before.
Yeah, okay. So, number 4. This all-time great hooper and jump shotter has what's likely the deepest and most recognizable voice known to mankind. In addition to having roughly 50,000 cameos in mainstream movies over the past 20 years, this historically large man starred in a rather ridiculous magical role in the critically shit-on film Kazam. A, Martin Short. B, Shaq. C, Yertle the Turtle. Or D, Susan B. Anthony.
I'm going to use my lifeline.
Okay. Christina?
So do I call?
Yeah.
Do I get it? Is there like a sound effect?
No.
Or?
Just go ahead and ask Christina
okay.
to weigh in.
Well, no, I know the answer. I just want to know what it feels like to work for these assholes.
It blows.
Okay. Cool.
Wow.
I'm going to go Shaq.
Okay.
All right.
Right again. This is
80,000.
Final answer.
Okay. Let's see.
You're right. Okay, here's the next one. And the final question. While her name
So it's just jumping from 80 to 1 million?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is the
big-
million question. And
big
hey, if you get this one wrong, it's all gone.
Yeah, you don't
Forgot.
get anything. While her name will always live in infamy, this disgraced Olympic figure skater made her acting debut in an incredible, self-titled documentary where she looked hotter than ever and was nominated for Best Actress at the Academy Awards in 2018. At 47 years old, and she doesn't look a day over 28, thanks to her mother, Allison Janney, a prissy bitch Nancy Kerrigan. Janney. Allison Janney.
Jesus Christ.
Allison Janney, prissy bitch, Nancy Kerrigan, in a couple of decades, this ice prancer has revitalized her career and landed the role of Harley Quinn in the letdown film of the century, Suicide Squad. A, DJ Tanner. B,
Was it
Jamie
DJ?
Lee Curtis.
Okay. She's done some good stuff.
C, Chris Rock.
Was he on the ice ever?
Yeah, I think so. Or D, Tanya Harding.
Well, technically, I don't know if Tanya's in Suicide Squad. So DJ Tanner was the lesbian. I'm gonna go D, Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding. She was great in that documentary.
That was awesome.
That was cool how she worked that out.
Yeah.
Made her own documentary.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
You feel stressed? Do you feel good?
I gotta say, it feels good to win anything.
Yeah, I'd say.
It's just rare.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank
That's
you.
incredible.
Now, you have a new proudest accomplishment, don't
Thank you, exactly.
You're welcome.
Wait, I had actually had a few questions.
Oh, sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
like
I
it's your
guess.
podcast. I
Yeah.
just where's Colleen?
Oh, good question.
That's a really good question.
That's a great question.
Because I've listened before, and she was advertised as like a host, Colleen Wolfe.
Yeah, Colleen.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just thought like she would be here tonight.
So Colleen spent months and months with us working on this show. We did a bunch of test episodes, what we liked, what we didn't like, the format, sort of all this kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden, as soon as August came around and we were ready to go, we forgot that Colleen is like the face of NFL Network and she's super busy. So
We totally forgot.
Yeah, I like totally forgot.
Slipped our minds.
Looking at her, you like don't really think.
No, yeah, you're like, this is just my buddy.
You're like, oh
She's-
yeah, she like, whatever. So she comes by when she can, or when we can go to her living room. But
Yeah.
unfortunately,
So yeah, like why did you come? Why did like I'm here in the studio, but she's a host of the podcast, and she didn't even come to the studio.
yeah.
She's on that level. She's the face
Okay.
of Thursday Night Football. That's the flagship program, not the Around the NFL podcast for
Like,
NFL Network.
I don't want to like hijack your show, but like how much harder, Erica, would you say you work on your podcast compared to like the one that I hired you for?
Probably a lot harder on this one. I'd
like
say
1,000%.
Yeah, I'd say like whatever I do for the other things.
Yeah.
I don't do.
It's zero.
Yeah, I
so
could include the NFL one too.
Yeah, no, I
too,
thought you
guess.
were because they're both zero.
Well, that one, that one.
When
that
you-
wasn't my decision, so I don't feel like
Okay.
responsible.
That's
or
true.
anything.
Yeah. No, I put work into everything I do. That's this
Yeah.
and only this. So all right. Any other questions?
I mean, my last one we kind of covered, which was just where does your confidence, all of it, come from? But-
Yeah. Sometimes I do get insecure, but then I look in a mirror and I'm like, you got this. Like it's like, oh shit. Like, we all get down in the dumps sometimes.
Yeah.
We all feel bad about ourselves. We second guess ourselves, and then how could you when you look like me?
Yeah.
That must be nice.
Yeah.
You're doing well
Yeah,
for yourself.
Yeah.
How do you do it, Emma? Because now I'm actually just even starting to feel bad that I didn't have a question like
Oh, no, that happens a lot.
prepared
Well,
for you, and she was, she's the front of the podcast, and like, yeah.
Exactly. That's kind of how this show goes. She's the face. I do, everything else.
I'm
but
the face.
She's the face. It doesn't happen. I don't have the confidence, so I can't even answer your question. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah. She would ask me to answer it for her.
It'll
Yeah,
come.
Erica?
You know what? It'll come with like age once you get really
That's
old.
what I said.
Old
She's-
like
I've
me.
got a couple
that would
years
be
on
my
her.
advice to the young people. Just get older.
Okay. I could do
It'll
that.
come. Yeah.
I think I could do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad I can answer your questions.
Thanks.
Of course. All right, Christina, give a little background on this assignment, and we can maybe help you out. Greg's an editor, writer, all this kind of shit. So,
Yeah, you can
Feel
help
free
her
to
out,
jump
too.
in.
We want her to ultimately get credit for this, so...
Okay.
So she leaves?
I'm not sure what it is, but let's
Yeah, me
let's
neither.
find out.
What-
What is it, Christina?
So I have an internship with you all. You all have brought me on. Thank you very much.
That wasn't necessarily our choice.
So anyway, my assignment is to write an end of the year paper on what I've learned at my internship.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go ahead and read it for you all, and feel free, make any edits if I need to change anything, add anything.
Okay, read it.
I'm eager to hear this.
What I've learned at my internship. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "To be or not to be, that is the question."
He did.
Those wise words have affected me in more ways than one, and from the very first day at my internship with the broadcast, I've attempted to do my very best work, despite my frequent f***ups. My bosses, Emma and Erica, they're assholes, but they're feminists, so that's cool. Which is why they're not afraid to talk down to me, in front of famous people especially. Podcasting, as Emma tells me every day, is a young woman's game. So you have to be willing to show up no more than 10 minutes late, sit in the same shitty chair for upwards of an hour, and sometimes drink cheap Chardonnay from the gas station down the street.
Yeah.
Even if your guest sucks and has a dumb job like writing about sports that he's never played, you have to pretend like you're intrigued because you need the money for buying booze and weird clothes in Erica's case.
Well done.
So what have I learned at my internship? Let me tell you. How about what haven't I learned from my internship?
Nice.
Apart from the essential technical skills like unlocking our studio door, making the host hot chocolate, extra marshmallows for Erica, I've gained a greater understanding of how to selfishly bullshit through an entire show and roast guests who are far more attractive and accomplished than I am.
Not
And
tonight.
hey, I make sure to tell... oh wait, I lost my place. Please excuse. And I've also learned how to deal with conflicting personalities. Erica is boastful. She's loud. She's drunk. So I make sure to tell her that she looks hot in her sweatpants. Keep her volume on low because, she does get loud. And I pour her 3 wines at the top of every single podcast.
Yep.
She usually finishes them before the show starts. Emma is insecure. She's OCD to the max. And she's a punk-ass bitch.
Okay.
So I shower her. And
Christina.
I shower her little scripts with praise. And I make sure to double staple. Use only pink highlighter. You can't use orange. I made that mistake.
Tell people this.
And her outlines, which allow her to yell at me just to keep her confidence up. In conclusion, I think that what I've learned
Christina,
here...
shut the stop.
I want to hear the
You're just
end.
gonna let her just roast us? Like,
I mean, I thought that I was doing
I
well.
thought this
Yeah.
was an assignment.
It was. This is what I've learned.
I
Seems
thought
like
it
an
was
excuse
illuminating.
for you to make fun
I mean,
of us.
I've been here for 4 months now. I feel like I've learned a lot.
Like the one edit I would have is just when you said my bosses and Emma and Erica are assholes, but they are feminists. I would just like cross out the "but they are feminists."
So just keep assholes.
Yeah.
I think
and
that
just
really gets to the
keep
point.
Keep going, yeah.
Okay.
Do you think your professor is going to appreciate this foul language?
You took the words right out of my
We
mouth.
think
You were so
much alike. I
smart.
love you.
Oh my god.
I love this show.
Caught it.
Good for us. Christina, you're a moron.
You're dumb.
Your teacher's going to see this and be like, what's with the profanity? What is
why?
this?
Why would you do that?
I'll say I learned from the best.
And I'm gonna. You tell your teacher to shove it right up.
Shut up. You tell her that.
Tell her Ricky Hollywood said you take
even
this
our
paper
guest
and you
says
shove it right up
I
your-
learned from the best teacher.
You did, and I'm grateful.
I see
that you look up
myself
to me
in
like
your
that.
eyes.
Yeah,
That's weird.
You are 3 peas in a pod, you guys.
You know what the thing is, though.
2 piece.
Besides the
Get it.
foul,
It's like a pod.
besides the foul language, which is a little concerning from a professional level.
Right.
You also said my bosses Emma and Erica, and I get very upset when my name's not first.
I'll add that to the list.
Yeah, you got to change that.
Well, it's
I like
alphabetical to go Emma first.
Yeah, and just also correct.
I just
Our guest does have a point.
I just like smelled smoke coming out of Erica's.
Yeah,
head.
I'm like literally.
She's really trying to
frustrated.
figure
I'm
out
like-
that
I'm like,
R
gonna-
goes in the alphabet.
Well, it's just. I don't care. What do you mean alphabetically correct? No, I mean Erica should be first always.
No. Well, Christine, does that help you?
Yeah, that was great, honestly.
Do you think you're going to pass?
I definitely 100%.
Okay.
I wouldn't pass.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, if I don't pass, I'll be back next semester.
Oh, no. What do we do?
Greg, thanks for coming all the way here after you sent your kids to Japan. Really appreciate it.
Cool of you.
Now that you have all this free time, we can maybe start another podcast together since we already do, 30 together.
That would be cool.
Well, that about does it here, and I guess we'll just see you in another time.
Next time.
Hey!
We did it! Thanks,
Erica,
Greg.
no joke. Thor has been farting every
Oh my
5 minutes.
You should have
back
told
here.
us that on air. That's great.
Like, holy shit, it smells so bad back here.
ADT can design and install a smart home just for you, backed by 24/7 protection. A new smart home at your service, customized for your lifestyle. Set up custom automations unique to your home to automatically do the things like lock the doors or set the thermostat when you leave. Even close your garage door from virtually anywhere. ADT will set up your home with multiple smart home devices and security features like indoor and outdoor cameras, locks, lights, and garage door control, even video doorbells. Visit ADT.com/podcasts to learn more about how ADT can design and install a secure smart home just for you.